Welcome to the Childcare Director's Chair, the podcast for bold educators who are ready to lead, grow, and shake things up in early childhood education. Whether you're a teacher eyeing that lead role, a lead stepping into leadership, or a center owner dreaming big, this is your space to grow with purpose and leave your mark. Hosted by heart-centered leadership coach Erica Sacoccio, each episode brings you real talk, actionable tools, and a contagious laugh or two, all designed to help you step into your next level with confidence. So pour your coffee, pop in those earbuds, and take your seat, because your leadership journey starts right now in the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. I'm your host, Erica Sacoccio. And this week on the podcast, we're diving into a special series all about sparking joy into your team and creating a culture of fun and engagement in your program. I picked this week's series because I'm heading off to Tennessee. So excited. Never been there before. Next week, I get to speak on this exact topic. And I wanted to give the listeners a few things to think about before we gather in person. I'll be presenting a breakout session at the NCCA and NECPA National Leadership Conference happening March 19th, 2021 at the iconic Peabody Memphis Hotel. Yes, the one and only Peabody Hotel with the Ducks. If you're attending the conference, please stop by and say hello. The Childcare Director's Chair podcast will actually be recording throughout the day at selected times. We'll be chatting with speakers, vendors, and educators just like you about leadership, culture, and the future of early childhood education. So this week's series is meant to get the conversation started before we even step in the room together. And if you're not heading out to Tennessee this year, I'm bummed that we can't connect, but if you still have time and you want to come out to the Early Childhood Empowerment Conference, the link for that will be below. We hope that you can join us there. So, joy in the workplace. It's not a luxury, guys. In early childhood programs, it's a leadership responsibility. When leaders intentionally create cultures where educators feel valued, connected, and supported, well, the entire program gets stronger. Stronger for staff, families, and the children that we serve every single day. Now, research from the National Association for the Education of Young Children shows that nearly 60% of early childhood educators report high levels of job-related stress. And workplace culture is one of the biggest factors influencing whether educators stay in the field or they leave it altogether. And when leaders intentionally focus on staff engagement, recognition, and support, well, programs see stronger retention and healthier classroom environments. The first thing I want to talk about is tapping into what actually brings your team joy. Too often, leaders assume that they know what motivates their staff. But honestly, joy looks different for everyone. Some educators thrive on public recognition, while others value flexibility. Some might look for growth opportunities, or simply feeling heard and respected. Taking the time to understand what truly matters to your team and their happiness allows you to lead more intentionally rather than relying on guesswork. And when leaders pause to ask and listen, they begin to uncover what fuels motivation and what drains energy and what makes educators feel proud of the work that they do every day. When staff feel like they're seen, and not just as employees, but as individuals, right? Not just filling your schedule. They just show up differently. They bring more enthusiasm to their classrooms, they collaborate more with colleagues, and they invest more deeply in the success of the program. Joy often grows from the simple act of feeling valued and understood. So here's something I want you to do today. Just take 5 minutes today and ask one member of your team this simple question. What is the one thing that helps you feel most appreciated at work? Listen closely to the answer without trying to solve anything in the moment. Just be present. Sometimes the most powerful leadership move is simply just paying attention. And the second thing I want to bring up, creating a culture of fun without losing focus. Fun in the workplace doesn't mean lowering the standards, actually, not at all, or losing professionalism. It means building an environment where laughter, connection, and positivity exist side by side, along with those high expectations for quality and safety. Early childhood educators already work in environments filled with creativity and play, yet many staff cultures feel heavy. And that's because leaders forget to intentionally bring some of that same spirit into the adult workplace. Come on, guys. What other job can you wear pajamas one day, dress like Dr. Seuss the next day, play with Play-Doh at work, or fidget spinners, or any of those types of things? Small traditions can make a big difference. So those theme days, I know my team loves a good dress down day, appreciation shout outs during staff meetings, birthday celebrations, or even friendly classroom challenges can really bring back that energy into your program. And those moments, well, they help build bonds in your team. It reminds educators that the work that they do truly matters. And when leaders create opportunities for staff to laugh and connect, well, the workplace begins to feel less like a job and more like a community. And the truth is, when adults enjoy their work, that energy naturally spills into the classrooms. The children feel it, the families notice it, and the entire program benefits from that positive atmosphere. So think about one small tradition you could start this month that would bring a big smile to your team. It could be something simple like a weekly shout out board, fun Fridays, or celebrating classroom wins during meetings. Pick one idea and commit to it and try it out this week. Now, speaking of fun, who doesn't love a good photo or a good selfie? I know I love taking pictures. I take them all the time. They're all over my IG account, my Facebook, and I know you do too. So I do want to bring this up. Get a big smile from your team. Get a great picture. And today's episode is sponsored by our friends at East Coast Capture. If your program is looking for beautiful school photos, class portraits, or professional program photography, you're going to want to connect with Brandy and her team at East Coast Captures. They specialize in capturing authentic childhood moments while making photo day experience smooth and stress-free for schools and childcare centers. For all your school photo and portrait needs, be sure to reach out to Brandy and her team at East Coast Capture. So let's keep it moving. Supporting your team while protecting your vision. Great leadership means balancing empathy with accountability. And supporting your team includes listening, mentoring, and helping staff navigate challenges. But it also means protecting the vision of your program and the safety of the children in your care. And sometimes leaders feel pressure to make everyone happy. I know the old Erica sure did. But strong leadership is about clarity and consistency, not just comfort. So when expectations are clear and the leaders communicate with the why behind them, the staff feels supported rather than controlled. Educators are more likely to buy into policies and procedures when they understand how those expectations connect to quality care, how they connect to licensing standards, and the well-being of children. And leaders who model professionalism while remaining approachable create environments where staff feel safe to ask questions, to learn from mistakes, and to continue to grow in their roles. Now, let me tell you, support does not mean we're going to lower the bar. It just means helping your team to reach for it. So think about one expectation in your program that the staff sometimes struggle with. And instead of a simple reminder or reminding them of the rule, the policy says, take time this week to explain the deeper purpose behind it. Helping your team understand the why can strengthen their commitment to doing things the right way. And as we start wrapping up, we certainly can't forget this. Celebrating intentionally. and supporting mental health. Not every celebration has the same impact. And sometimes the most meaningful support goes beyond pizza in the staff room. It's that intentional recognition, those regular check-ins, and creating safe spaces for conversations about burnout can make a real difference in how educators feel about their workplace. I know this is a conversation I had with a staff member just this week. Early childhood professionals carry a lot of emotional weight. They support children through big feelings, they partner with families during challenging moments, and they manage daily demands of a classroom. Leaders who acknowledge this emotional load can create opportunities for connection to help their teams feel less alone in the work. And sometimes the celebration looks like a team gathering. Other times it's an appreciation event, but sometimes it looks like giving someone a moment to just step away, take a breath. Both matter. When staff know that leadership cares about their well-being, not just their productivity, they are more likely to stay committed to the program and honestly the field itself. And let's tell the truth, we cannot afford to lose any more wonderful educators. So here's what I want you to do to reflection for the day. I want you to check in with one educator today and ask them how they're really doing. Not just how are they doing in the classroom or how's the classroom going, but a genuine moment of connection. It really can remind your staff that you are supporting them not just as professionals, but as people. So my closing thoughts are this. The culture of your program will always reflect the leadership behind it. When the leaders intentionally spark joy, they recognize their teams and create a space of connection, they will build workplaces where educators want to stay and grow. Early childhood education is demanding work, but it is also incredibly meaningful work. And the teams who feel supported and show up differently for every child every single day. And as leaders, we have the power to create programs where excellence, care, and joy all exist together. And that is the kind of culture that changes lives. So before we go, if this episode resonated with you, please take a quick moment, leave us a review on Apple. And if you're listening on YouTube, please leave us a comment. Those reviews help more directors, more owners, more educators find our show so we can keep sharing real conversations about leadership in early childhood. And as always, thank you so much for being part of this community and the work that we're doing together to elevate and support the field that we all care about so deeply.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Childcare Director's Chair, where we believe leaders aren't born, they're grown. If something sparked for you today, share it, shout it out, or pass it along to the next bold changemaker in childcare. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with Erica Sacosio for more real talk leadership tools and a whole lot of inspiration. Until next time, lead with heart, grow with fire, and always remember, the chair is yours. Now own it.